This is something I cover in a lot of detail in my book. And actually, I think that's one of the things that people liked or appreciated in the article. I wasn't just pumping Bitcoin. I wanted to be honest about the risks. And I do think there are real risks. Probably the biggest risk in my mind is or not just a single nation state attacking Bitcoin, but a coordinated nation state attack where you have nations say, wow, actually, if Bitcoin becomes widely adopted, we're going to lose control over monetary policy. And monetary policy is one of the most important sovereign powers that any nation has. And to give that up or to lose that is a very scary thing for central banks around the world. And they're starting to understand that. They really are. They're getting that first inkling that, hey, if Bitcoin keeps going up, we're not going to be able to control interest rates anymore. We're not going to be able to print as much money because people will just flee from our currency and move into the dollar. And then the currency loses its value and the ability to inflate is completely diminished. So it's certainly possible at some point in the future, nation states get together and say, we need to ban this thing because it's getting out of control. It's too big. It's worth now. I mean, you could imagine if it gets to the size of gold, 10 trillion, and it's on the upswing where it could become like a 20 or 30 or $50 trillion asset, the nation states around the world are going to panic and say, okay, we need to ban ownership of Bitcoin, or we need to ban mining, or we need to ban transfer. There's certain things that they could do which could really harm Bitcoin. And I think that's possible. The chance of it happening is certainly diminishing over time, but it's not inevitable that won't happen. So we need to work on these politicians, and we need to work on corporations as well, because the good thing about corporations adopting Bitcoin is they're much, much better lobbyists than retail investors. Like you and I, we're not good lobbyists. Like we can maybe send out some tweets or say, I won't vote for you, but that's far less powerful than corporations going and lobbying governments, because they're good at that. They've done it for a long time. They have all sorts of organizational infrastructure in Washington, D.C. And when corporations and banks get on board and it's in their interest to defend Bitcoin, Bitcoin will be a lot safer.